Hey there, travelers. You look beat. Come in, take a seat while I tell you about a creepy, chocolatey treat that's guaranteed to drive the ghouls crazy. With its spine-chilling filling, the all-new United States of Paranormal.
Welcome back, all you hitchers and drifters, to the United States of Paranormal podcast, your weekly trip through all things cryptid, creepy, and paranormal. This is Logan.
Hey, it's Matt.
Boze.
And this week, just like you heard us discuss on our last Tejas episode, it's a chiller filler. Insert air horns here. That's probably the saddest air horns ever.
Matches the atmosphere today.
But we're back with our second episode of the new year. Just gonna shoot shit. I mean, everybody's done an episode. This gives us time to just kind of figure out what we're gonna research next and just unload as you listen to Brandon put his keys down on the table.
Yeah.
He's fresh out of his Foley podcast that he just shot, so.
Yeah, it's where he professionally Foley's porn.
Ooh.
But like sad, lonely porn.
Ooh. That's where some guy jerking it just doesn't sound quite impressive enough, so he has to come in and make the noise for him.
The guy, yeah, it's the kind of porn where the guy just kind of gives up halfway through.
Oh, no.
Man, let me tell you, there's some tricky sound effects you got to put in there. It's really hard to find a good squish sound.
And you really have to channel the lonely depression.
Yeah, God, it's not even a minute into the podcast. Sit down and buckle up because this is the kind of episode you're getting this week, everybody. All right. Oh, fucking Christ. On those notes, Matt, how was your week?
It's been pretty good. Can't first day of the new school year and
It sounds great with the
it's just a lot of fires to put out, and I've been stuck spending a lot of time in business offices.
Literal fires.
No, not literal fires. Your car might be one soon, but
My car's not a fire hazard.
We drove here in his car, and there was an exposed wire and a box knife in my door handle. And his car occasionally rips ass as you drive down the road, so...
It's not necessarily an exposed wire. It is not a hot wire.
Okay,
in
but
any
is it a
definition
wire
word.
that's coming out of the paneling that is exposed? That's an exposed wire. I didn't say it was an exposed hot wire. I said it's an exposed wire.
It's
also the box cutter is kind of a red flag.
There wasn't a blade in it, though.
Yeah, there's not a blade.
That's good. The only
I
thing
had to check, though.
So he's got just a bunch of alarming...
How is the wire? I just disconnected it from my amplifier because of my starter issues.
Works for Spectrum, but if you got in his car, you would think that he was a fucking shady pizza delivery man.
Hey, don't knock the shady pizza delivery man. I've been that man.
Oh, my week's been all right. It's been slow at work. It's cold. It's wet. It's not a whole lot of people. It's not cold enough for people to fix heaters or anything, but it's cold enough for people not to need their AC, so it's been pretty chill, other than trucks coming in and unloading and all that jazz. And all that jazz.
My dog keeps finding new ways to run away.
Currently on the lam.
Yeah. Originally, I had cleared out a bunch of trees and brush from my backyard a few weeks ago, and she found a new spot where she could dig under the fence. So once I got that closed up, today she knocked a board out of the wooden portion of the fence and left through that. So who knows if I get her back, how she'll find a way out next time. It's
fair. What are you, Brandon? Week? Thrilling?
No, God, no.
You gonna paint us a fucking picture, or are we just gonna assume?
It's been in a whole week of me trying to track down 3 people for services who told me that they all want it and just told me to come back at different dates.
Yeah.
But apparently one person, a family member, died, so now they're dealing with funeral stuff.
Those fucking insensitive bastards.
All right? It's like, I know we're a spooky podcast, but come on, we don't need to go hunting for stories that way.
Oh. That's it, folks.
That's our show, everybody. Good night. Maybe one of these weeks we'll actually do something interesting.
Well, hold your breath.
Yeah.
Hey, we did go to Renfest a few months ago.
Oh, God. We've talked about it multiple times. That's more than a few months ago at this point, dude. That was in November. That was a whole nother year.
That was 2 months ago.
That was a while ago.
That was 2 months ago.
It's almost February.
It feels like a lot longer.
That was 2 months.
Might as well have never gone at this point. Like, it's so far away from us. The memories have faded.
We are 2 months removed from it.
The joy has since drained from our hearts.
On the bright side this week, I found all of my pitch black needs except for I still haven't found the sugar-free one to try.
I haven't found any pitch black, and I have been in H-E-B, Walmart, and multiple gas stations.
Use the tracker.
There's a tracker?
Oh, yeah. All Pepsi products have a tracker. So you can use... Well, the only thing that's unfortunate about it is the Mountain Dew tracker does not work for the Mountain Dew Energy. So you have to use the Mountain Dew Energy tracker to track the energy, which is on another website.
Speaking of Mountain Dew, did you see the link I sent you earlier?
I was about to talk about that, and because I bitch about I love hot sauce. So usually it used to be, it hasn't been so bad lately. Christmas and holidays would always be people giving me a bunch of generic hot sauce because you like spicy. Here's this $20 20 pack of hot sauces I bought at a fucking gas station or whatever. Fucking two things that people always send me is Mountain Dew or hot sauce, stuff to that. And then it just so happened this week Mountain Dew was like, Mountain Dew hot sauce. So I have gotten that link right before we walked in here. I got tagged in that link by Alicia. I've gotten that link sent to me by probably 7 different people at this point. And then also customers walking you see Mountain Dew's got a hot sauce? And yes, I get newsletters from Mountain Dew. Just letting you know, I'm on there. If they make something, I know. But yeah, it looks interesting. But the only thing I've ever bought from Mountain Dew's website is when they brought back Typhoon, and it was a store exclusive. I bought me the 6-pack.
I just feel like it's got to be gross. I want to try it, but I just feel like it's got to be gross.
I don't know. They kind of take pride in their shit for the most part. And I don't know if you've ever seen their website, but the kind of shit they have on that website is fucking bonkers.
No, I haven't really.
It's fucking Mountain Dew Flaming Hot bikinis and track pants and just expensive shit. So, but yeah, I try to keep an eye on that website because they'll have crazy shit that you don't get in stores every now and then. They'll have the birthday cake Mountain Dew or just a bunch of they had a mystery Baja Blast last year that was on there and stuff. It's just I kind of weigh it to see what's worth it or not. I got Typhoon because it's one of my favorite flavors, but it just sucks when it's online exclusive because it just feels dumb ordering a 4-pack of soda online. I just feel there's something about it just makes me feel stupid.
Especially with the cost of buying it online.
It wasn't bad, but yeah, it's a little weird. Because there's certain things there was that one time where I wanted that challenge ramen that was going around, so I ordered it from Amazon. And there's a lot of cool shit you can get food-wise on Amazon, but then it's just the extra bump up you're having to pay for at least with Prime, you don't have to pay for shipping, but it's still more expensive.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I want to get online and fucking order me some. I watched the new Letterkenny, so all I've been wanting is all dressed chips for a month now. And it just so happens to be right as Ruffles takes them off the shelf for the year for us because it's not year round for us.
Yeah.
So now I want to get on Amazon and fucking order me a bag of all dressed chips so I can just have it and get it out of my fucking brain. But yeah, I saw your link to the thing. I was literally going to bring it up because Alicia just tagged me in it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised everybody sent it to you, but I just wanted to make sure. I thought we might have a discussion about it, but...
Hot sauce, dog.
Yeah.
The best hot sauce that I have ever gotten online is going to be anything from Hot Ones. That was one of the best subscription boxes I ever had in my life, but it's just a little pricey. It kind of also not to mention the main. I didn't stop it because it was pricey. I stopped it because it's it's 6 usually 6 bottles a box, and it's monthly. Okay, hot sauce you don't even if you use hot sauce all the time, you do not burn through 6 bottles in a month.
Yeah.
So I already have the turkey roasting tray.
Yeah.
I have that sitting in my kitchen, and that's where I keep my hot sauces. And occasionally I'll see a hot sauce at the store, and I'm like, oh, I want to try this. I get it. So when I had that, it was I I had hot sauce fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, they're all good from Hot Ones. They really are.
Yeah.
But it'll be like, I like this one, so this one's gone first. Like any of the Los Calientes, it's when we start, right before we started this podcast, I had a conversation with Jeremy because he's like, it might have been Jennifer. He was saying he's new boss. So it might have been Jennifer at the time. Likes hot sauce. So he's like, what kind of hot sauce would you recommend? And I sent him a link to the Los Calientes box from Hot Ones because every one of those sauce are fucking amazing. My only problem with it is it's a very watery sauce, and they don't put a stopper in it, which I hate because then it just wants to all pour out, instead of just being able to like shake it out or everything. But no, Hot Ones is great. Like I said, it just 6 bottles of hot sauce a month is a little bit much.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, plus with as much hot sauce as you consume, even though you consume a lot of hot sauce, you have so many different hot
it's
sauces.
hard to pick, especially when you have a bunch of good ones. Like I would be like, oh, I want to go with Los Calientes green or barbacoa, or do I want to go with the Lucky Dog? And it was just like, every one of their last dabs have been really good too. I really like them. Now those fuckers are thick.
Right now, the only ones that I really eat, I'll usually occasionally pick up a bottle of the fire sauce from the Taco Bell fire sauce in a bottle. Although with that stuff, sometimes you get a gross bottle.
Yeah, that's the same with them in the packs. Like they're just like it's iffy. It's because with the fire too. The fire's the thickest sauce they have. Like it has chunks.
Yeah,
and so it's
just like sometimes it goes rancid.
Yeah, it can get funky. Are you putting in the fridge after you're done with it?
Yeah, no. I mean, it's fresh from the store.
Yeah,
the whole bottle is ruined from the get go. I always put them back. I put them in the fridge. Aside from that, I use Cholula sauce a lot. I usually burn through that.
This is a snack podcast.
It is. And then if we do wings, I get Frank's Red Hot. Although I'm open to experimenting with different.
I'm just not a big. I've never been a big Frank's. I've never been a big just like buffalo person. Buffalo sauces always have that really vinegary kick to it, and like if I'm in a certain mood, I
only like it for buffalo wings.
I'm to the point to where like for the most part. Like I like to just dip my wings and stuff now because like especially if you're going boneless because it's not cleaner, it's just like with the boneless it like they lose their crunch, and I like the crunchy, and it just like it's soaked, especially those vinegary based sauces, it fucks up breading quick when it soaks in there and it becomes all mushy, and I'm not about it.
We had picked up a big ass air fryer because we figured out that you can get really crispy wings in it compared to doing it in the oven. So
fucking nothing worse than a bag of Tyson's chicken wings in the oven. They come out all fucking slimy and shit.
So we'll get a thing.
Brandon made a fucking face like a.
We've because of dieting and stuff, we started doing a lot more bone-in wings, and so we'll get a big bag of drumettes and the wing bits from HEB and just throw a shitload in the air fryer at once, and it's great. It's awesome.
Tell you what, I understand what Hot Ones does though. Like the fact that they've kept the bomb on forever on that, and that's the only like not theirs or like mom and pop's brand hot sauce is that one, and that's because it is just mean and it's become a staple at this point. But like I've done multiple Hot Ones lineups because I had the sauces and everything, just to see how it goes and everything. And first and foremost, the bomb is fucking disgusting because it's pepper extract. It is literally just all the stuff that makes it hot and it has no flavor. It's fucking gross, but it absolutely hate fucks your mouth. And so from that point on, your mouth's fucked. So it just gets worse. It's kind of like that thing, like when you're eating something, when you eat something spicy, but then you eat something that's actually like physically hot and it makes the spicy worse from that point on. It's like that. And they're just like, I bought a bottle just to like do that stuff, and like it went to fucking waste because that shit was so fucking gross. It is unpleasant.
Speaking of peppers and stuff, I mean to ask you, what's the turnaround time on growing jalapenos?
It's not worth it. Not in this area. I've grown jalapenos and everything, but like for what it takes to buy, if you buy seeds, it's whatever, but if you buy the plant or stuff like that, the turnaround rate, when you can still go to the store and buy a pound of jalapenos for 98 cents, it's not really worth it. Because, like, how many plants are you going to grow? If it's one plant, it's not worth it. 2 plants isn't even worth it. But, like, that's why I grow peppers every year. And it started out me growing peppers when I lived in the apartment in Orange.
Yeah.
And that was when those plants got taller than the storage unit out back. Like, they were fucking massive.
I remember you lit up with a bunch of weird looking peppers because they were crossbreeding.
Yeah. But,
I watched a guy talk about crossbreeding peppers on YouTube the other day. That shit is fucking crazy.
I ended up with peppers that, like, the leaves were half purple and the peppers were turning purple. And they're little fuckers.
Well, like the Carolina Reaper is apparently a crossbreed.
Yeah, that's all. Those are man-made peppers. That's why the Reaper is why I started growing peppers, is because back when the Reaper hit the market, the only way you could get it is by ordering seeds from Pucker Buck Company, the man that engineered the pepper.
Yeah.
And you'd have to grow them from scratch. So I was like, I want these peppers. So I got that. And while I was ordering that, I was like, well, why don't I order these seeds too? And these seeds. And so, like, I just started growing exotic peppers that I couldn't get around here. But now, like I was telling our friend Caleb the other day, now you can go to the stores now and buy stuff like that. You can go to HEB and buy a ghost pepper or a scorpion pepper, and it used to not be like that. So I still grow peppers because there's still exotic ones I can get out there and everything. But like one of my favorite pepper plants to grow is Tabasco peppers because they go really well here. They basically become a bush, and they fucking there's such a small pepper that they fruit and turn around so quick. Okay. To where usually by the end of the season I have peppers dying on the bush because it's also a pain in the ass to go out there with scissors and snip hundreds of little peppers off the bush.
I was thinking about setting up a hydroponics tower just in my house and grow some stuff that I regularly cook with.
Stuff.
Yeah, some weed.
Pew pew pew.
I would like, if you're gonna do it, like if you want to go something like, I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't do jalapenos. First and foremost, jalapeno plants are tall. They're pretty tall. Habanero plants are kind of keep to the smaller bush sides, and they produce good. I always grow a habanero plant just because I like them and they fruit really well. And fresh habaneros smell really good when you cut them open.
Man, it was funny watching that guy talk about the different types of peppers and stuff, and he just shit all over the jalapeno pepper, calling it like the basic bitch pepper.
Oh, it's totally a basic pepper. I still like the taste.
I mean, like, if you're gonna go with that, I'd go one up and get like a Serrano because it's a little bit more expensive, but still like, and it's got a little bit of a quicker turnaround rate too.
Yeah.
But on the bright side though, if you do grow jalapenos, you can grow them till they're actually ripened and red, which they don't really sell in the store. Like the only way I can get red jalapenos is if I go to like the Mexican market basket, and then they'll have the red ones because that's when a jalapeno is technically ripe.
Yeah, I just like to throw diced peppers into the stuff I cook, and it'd be nice to just have something I can easily grab instead of forgetting to pick some up when I'm at the store and not having jalapenos.
It was just funny watching this guy because he's just like, I watch him just cut up like Carolina Reapers and would just start popping them like candy, and he would just be like, "Oh yeah, no, that burns."
Yeah, no, it's unpleasant.
But he's just like eating the pepper raw.
Yeah, you have to die a little bit on the inside.
Yep.
That's what Logan does.
Yep. I tried one year. I was like, I use cilantro all the time. I'll grow cilantro. I don't like growing herbs and all that shit because they are maintenance. Like you have to trim them constantly, and like otherwise they start growing funky. And I ain't about it. I'll just go buy cilantro at the store and I'll stick my peppers. Tomatoes grow like a motherfucker in this area of Texas, though. Like one year, literally the first year I was doing peppers. Caleb came over while we were setting up my little back patio to grow and everything. And he was like, I got some tomato seeds. And we were like, well, fuck it. We don't have a lot of room, but we had this big pot over here. I was like, just throw them all in there and we'll see what it takes. Every fucking one of those seeds took. And that fucking little pot looked like a goddamn chia pet when they started sprouting. And I was like, oh, we got to start pulling some of them fuckers out of there. But yeah.
I remember you had tomatoes that ended up crossing over with peppers.
Tomatoes. Yeah.
Oh.
That's fun. I like doing it. That's the only downside of not having a yard, but I've never grown in a yard. I've always make my own planters out of yard timbers and stuff and just go like that. Or I get those earth boxes that are really nice.
Honestly, it'd be even if you had a yard, it'd still be easier on you probably to grow planters or to use them out of planters.
Yeah, I like raised garden beds, especially how much rain we get here. That way it drains out.
You have more control over the environment.
Sized yard, and I wouldn't want to do it just because of animals and stuff in the area.
Well, that's the good thing about peppers is there's not a lot of animals that will fuck with peppers.
Yeah.
There are these little birds that will do it because he doesn't fuck with birds, but they're really not a problem around here. the only problem is fucking aphids, but that's any fruiting plant.
And like the main things I would want to grow would be like herbs and like garlic and shit like that.
Well, yeah, I recommend. I like doing it. I just like I said, on the bright side now, I can just go instead of having to start from seeds. Now I can just go to Home Depot or Lowe's or the local nursery, and I can buy little tiny ghost peppers or reapers that are already starting to grow, because there is nothing more nerve-wracking than germinating seeds and like seeing when you buy a fucking like 12 seeds of an exotic pepper and you're hoping like at least one takes. And you got to worry about like mold and stuff while they're growing and all that. So it's nice just to be able to go season hits and I can just go pick up already started.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Everything. Like I can get at my local nursery, I can get a fucking 6-pack of fucking Tabasco plants for like $4. So that's nice.
I like Tabasco sauce. I never use it though. I've got a bottle of it in my office here at the studio. But
there are certain Tabasco sauces I swear by. Generic one I don't really fuck with a whole lot. But the cayenne garlic one, the habanero, and the scorpion I use. And I'll use the habanero and scorpion in like gumbo all the time. I just really like the flavors on those. But regular Tabasco sauce is just like I'll put regular Tabasco sauce in something like Creole or something like that. But that's about it.
Dude, okay, so something
tomato-based sauce soups it's good in.
Something my wife found at HEB. If you look in the like where the sealed tuna packets and stuff are, they've got a shelf-stable sealed barbacoa.
It's weird.
It's pretty good.
Well, no, I imagine it's good.
If you want like just quick barbacoa tacos, it's a really easy thing to throw up and get a decent lunch taco.
I was cooking the other day with when I made meatballs. I decided to experiment with it because like I finally got my meatball mixture down to like what I like it. But I was like, I want something extra. So like I was watching videos on how people make pesto and stuff. And I was like, what if I make like, for lack of terminology, like a Italian like salsa. Like I kind of go with the pesto base, but then like put jalapenos and other things in there. And put that on my meatballs, and I fucking did it the other weekend, and everybody fucking really liked it, and it turned out really good. But like to like a pesto base is like capers and anchovies and stuff, which I've never cooked with anchovies before, really. So that was interesting. So now I have anchovies in my refrigerator.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was really
I'm
good.
not a fan of pesto. Really well. Never.
Pesto's good, like in like little things. Like when I make Tuscan pasta, I put pesto in the Alfredo sauce to give it a little.
Yeah,
extra.
that might be really good. I've always had stuff like pesto
like straight
chicken.
pesto's too oily for me.
Yeah.
And pesto's one of those things where it's like there's a lot of different quality type of pesto. And like here in America, it's like harder to find good pesto because that's like very much a European type of thing.
Ja. On a note of like last time we were talking about and everything, where we segued in snacks and everything, we covered Spectre Moose. And while I was looking for art for our Spectre Moose post, I talked to you guys about it. I saw a picture of a trading card with Spectre Moose on it. And I started to look into it, and I found that trading card game, MetaZoo, which I've seen at Walmart. Like especially since my son was just here, like we were looking at Pokemon cards, like every time we went to a store, and I kept seeing what MetaZoo was there. And I think at one point I even poked fun to Kayla. I was like, you want to get you some MetaZoo? Because I didn't know what the fuck it was. But then I looked into it, and I was like, that's a Spectre Moose card. And then I kept looking into it, and I was like, that's Inrid Cole. And I was like, that's weird. And then I looked into it more, and I was like, fuck, that's the fucking Slyrock Bolter. And like every fucking cryptid we've done except for the Tech. In a trading card form. So I started looking into it and everything and just fell down the fucking rabbit hole. And I ended up buying me a little box that had like 3 packs in it.
I thought you did send a photo of the Tech.
No, not the Tech.
But like I fell down a rabbit hole of looking into it and everything, and then I ended up buying a PSA graded 9 Smokey the Bear fucking MetaZoo card that's now on my shelf. First ever graded card I've owned in my life, and I've done so many different TCGs. I mean, I've got cards that absolutely probably should be graded from Pokemon and stuff, but like I bought a Smokey the Bear PSA graded 9 just to have it.
Like
but I bought a pack with 3 boosters in it and ended up pulling the fucking the Spectre Moose and the fucking Hoop Snake.
That's awesome.
So it was pretty cool to look in. So if any of you guys out there like cryptids and stuff. Check it out. Look, the art itself is charming because it like most of it looks like it was done with like color pencil and stuff. And a lot of it gives you like deviant art, early 2000 vibes looking at it and everything, but it's still cool. On that also, what with I don't think we talked about it. The fact that the lawsuit for Friday the 13th that we just had Friday the 13th last week, but the lawsuit is done with Friday the 13th.
Oh, nice. What was the...
And they split it, basically. The original person that wrote the script that was trying to get the rights back, because he's like, it's been so long, so now it comes back to me. The court decided, they're like, yes, that script comes back to you. So Pamela Voorhees, Crystal Lake, young Jason Voorhees belong to you. Those are yours. They are like, you cannot take Jason Voorhees, make him an adult, and put him in a hockey mask. That's not your right. Anything past the first movie does not belong to you. And then they gave the other people the rights to the adult form, but not the name Jason Voorhees, the hockey mask. They can't use Crystal Lake, and they can't use Pamela Voorhees because that wasn't in any of the other movies. So they own the right to every Jason as an adult.
They just can't call him Jason Voorhees.
So what I was telling Michaela the other day, well, we'll get into that. But like, so first of all, Peacock has ordered a series called Crystal Lake, which is supposed to be a prequel series, and it looks like what they talk about is it's going to revolve around Pamela and might even touch on young Jason and what he was doing out in the wilderness. And of course, as a community of fans that haven't had a Friday the 13th movie since 14 years ago at this point, which seems crazy that it's been that long since that came out, are all audibly upset because that's not what you want. You don't want like, oh, Friday the 13th is finally free. They're like, Crystal Lake, it's about Pamela Voorhees, and everybody's like, ugh.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like very much in the vein of like Bates Motel.
And especially on Peacock. But I mean, Peacock does get good stuff, but like, how many people do you know has Peacock? Not a lot. And even if you pay for Peacock, you still can catch commercials.
So one thing, all Spectrum customers get 1 year free of Peacock.
God, fucking shush with that. But they literally yesterday, news broke that it looks like they might be working with each other to ride the hype of Crystal Lake to actually make a movie with adult Jason, and they might compromise with each other to do so.
Yeah, some right sharing stuff. That makes sense.
Yeah,
cool.
well, because like that's the only way money's gonna be made.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, so they're talking about doing that now. They're talking about coming together and making an adult movie, which sounds like it's going to be not a relaunch or a reboot, but like a continuation, which I don't know if it would be a continuation of the original stuff.
Or Jason in Hell.
Or if the original lines, or if it's going to be a continuation off the 2014 one, because the one that was back a while ago, because that one killed it. Like, it did great. It just, they could not do a follow-up because of the lawsuit. So we're stuck in that. We're going to see where it goes. But it's good to know that they're out making stuff again. In a perfect world, they'd fucking let the fuckers that were doing the video game go back to patching it and fixing it back up.
I mean, at this point, it may be a little too late.
Yeah, I'd imagine they wouldn't want to go back to that game.
Shame. That game had potential, and it just got shot in the foot.
Speaking of other stuff, have y'all seen the trailer for the new Ghostface movie?
Oh, absolutely. The new Scream trailer.
Scream's...
there's been one movie where they weren't in Woodsboro. There was the movie where they were out, where she was doing school to become an actress and all that. She's like film school. But this is they're left Woodsboro. Sydney is not going to be back for the first time. Gail's going to be in it, and it's going to be Ghostface is coming after them in New York this time.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
like you said,
that fucking trailer.
Oh my god!
They're saying this is going to be the most violent, and it look just from the trailer alone, it might be one of the best fucking.
Like
Screams
if you haven't
ever.
seen it yet, like the trailer starts out with basically the girls running into a gas
also,
station.
To be noted, Jenna Ortega was in the last one.
Yeah.
Before Wednesday hype, and now she's back.
Oh man!
With the Wednesday hype, so
like,
it's probably just going to kill in box office alone off of that.
Yeah, like it's just crazy watching Ghostface bust into a gas station, special forces style, that guy with the gun.
Yeah, they walk in, they run in because like your idea with Ghostface has always been he's very stabby. Ghostface gets a gun at the end after he's unmasked. He always has a pistol or a fucking Glock, and he's gonna fucking put someone down, All right. But for the rest of the time, he's just stabbing and murdering. Well, they run in the gas station with the concept of being like, he won't get us in here. There's people. They run in, and the guy's like, hey, you're cutting in line. And then Ghostface walks in, and he was like, we got a problem here, guy? To Ghostface. Ghostface stabs the motherfucker in front of everybody. Ghostface starts walking towards the girl. The clerk pulls out a shotgun, shoots Ghostface. Ghostface fucking dodges the shit, right? Fucking sneaks up on the clerk, stabs him, takes his gun, his shotgun, and blows him the fuck away.
Jesus.
So now Ghostface is walking the aisles of the gas station with a shotgun in his hands. And I was like, and a part of my brain was like, that's cheating. Because Ghostface just clearing aisles with a fucking shotgun in his hand. I was like, oh no. But one of the coolest scenes in that, and I've watched people break it down, is eventually they open up this, what looks like a big showcase room, and they're like, what is this? And
All
fucking
the
Gail
Ghostface
is like,
costumes.
this is a shrine. And somebody has gotten from clearly evidence lockers, all the Ghostface costumes, clothes from murder victims and like the original killers, all on mannequins set up. Like it's set up like a fucking museum. And it's got all the Ghostface costumes in like a circle on the stage and everything. And like people were breaking it down. Like if you look here, it's this person's shirt. And if you look here, it's this person's shirt and this person's knife. And it's just like the TV that fell on Stu is sitting in there. The one that crushed Matthew Lillard's head in the first one is sitting there on a pedestal. And it's just like,
man.
oh, it
was
looks
like
good.
the big thing in the trailer too is like, I'm a different Ghostface.
Yeah, because
like,
he gets on the phone
I'm
with Gail.
something new.
And Gail's like, what are you, the 10th guy to try this? It doesn't fucking work out. And he comes in the fucking Ghostface voice, and he was like, the difference, he's like, but I'm a different kind. And while he's talking to her on the phone, you see him, either a bodyguard or her boyfriend, he snatches him up, and she doesn't see. And then he fucking throws the dude through a bookshelf, and he pops out. It looks, I don't know if Gail's going to survive this
In my
one.
headcanon, he's got an AirPod Pro in while he's talking on the
he
phone and
absolutely
doing
does.
this.
Yeah. It looks good. I'm stoked for it.
Yeah, no, that
But, like,
movie looks exciting.
Bunch of good shit's happening for horror. I haven't seen Megan, but
I've been hearing so much about it.
well, it fucking killed it in box office. So they're already doing a second one, but it's not going to come out until 2025. And then we got Evil Dead Rise, and that trailer made me woozy.
I haven't seen that trailer yet.
That trailer is fucking. That Red Band trailer is fucking rough. At one point, one of the Deadites fucking grabbed, like, you know those big old fucking cheese graters that are like shaped like a rectangle, basically. At one point, she's laying on the ground, and you just see a hand slap that cheese grater on the bitch's calf, and he's about to rake it back. And at that point, I was like, I feel woozy. Fucking chewing glass and it coming out of the bottom of their mouth.
No, and this is the sequel to the 20.
Technically, it's not. It's its own thing.
Okay, so this is like another reboot.
But Bruce Campbell is like producing and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, wasn't the original remake?
That was done by. Why am I forgetting his name? The original dude. Why am I spacing on it? Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah. Spider-Man.
Well, yeah.
Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was done by the remake was done by Sam Raimi.
Okay.
Yeah, well, because the
they're
idea
really
of
fucking
that
edgy one,
remake was this is what I would have done if I had money.
budget. He was like, listen, he was like, I know the ones seem silly. He was like, that was not our intention with the first one. It wasn't supposed to be silly.
See, and I still say the first one, while, looking back on it, some of the stuff looks goofy, I still say that is a horrifying movie to watch.
Absolutely. I don't
Like, that movie, that is a scary movie for as goofy as some of those props were.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you definitely need to check out that Red Band trailer because I'm worried about watching that one in theaters because I've discussed it before. I'm not good with like self-mutilation and stuff. And that trailer alone was rough. And I've always had a phobia, like using a cheese grater, that I'm always worried I'm going to catch my finger and just watch it. You know he's going to pull it back on that bitch's calf and it's going to show it. You know it's gonna.
Yeah.
And I am not emotionally ready for that.
Just like the first one, I'm probably not going to watch it because I'm just not into. I'm not into body horror.
Even if you're not into body horror, there's still good movies to watch.
It looks like it's in a New York apartment building, like skyscraper,
Oh,
and it is
that's
their
weird.
mom. It has kids in it. It's like an aunt and a mom, and the mom looks like she's the first one to get possessed.
Oh.
And it opens up creepy. The mom is in the kitchen, just like cooking, and she's just like smashing whole eggs into the fucking pot and everything and talking. She's like, I had a beautiful dream where I tore you all a piece limb from limb so I could be inside you and together with you forever. And I was just like, oh no. And then the little girl's looking out the peephole, and one time she's like, Mom, you don't look so good. And she's like, the fucking deadite mom's outside the door, and she's like, nothing a kiss from you won't fix. And they're just like, oh, don't open the door, you little bitch. Don't do it. Mommy's not right. It looks haunting. So I'm stoked for that. Like I said, we got a bunch of good shit coming because Ghost or Scream, I think, is in March. And then I think Evil Dead might even be before that. A bunch of cool shit down the pike.
Man, I probably know the answer to this, but have either of y'all seen The Last of Us yet?
No.
The first episode?
I've never played any of the games or anything, so I'm not invested in it. But like people are saying it's good, so we'll probably check it out eventually. But I also don't have HBO Max right now because Warner Brothers is a bunch of fuckheads. So
yeah, I live in.
I'll just give you my login.
I feel you. We'll get around to it eventually. We've been wrapping up shit like we wrapped up that '90s show. We wrapped up the new season of The Circle.
I've been seeing clips from that '90s show.
I think the best thing that's happening for that '90s show is the fact that like everybody that's checking it out had absolutely no expectations for it. Because we watched all 10 episodes in one night. Mm-hmm. That's 30 minutes a pop, so it's not bad. It takes a little bit to get used to the laugh track thing because we've moved away from it so much as a society, so it's a little jarring at first. But just like back in the day, after you get into it, it just kind of bleeds into the background. You don't really notice anymore. Uh-huh. So that first episode's kind of rough because you keep hearing it. Yeah. It goes away after a while, especially if you binge it like we did. But I mean, I legitimately had a lot of moments where I was legitimately laughing and enjoyed it. They don't force the old cast down your throat. Like you see them a little, like you don't even see them a lot other than Red and Kitty because that's where they're staying. So you see them every episode, but like you don't see like the legacy cast a lot, and like the kids are doing their own thing, and it was good. I mean, it's nothing. It's not like, oh, it's gonna win awards. Good, but it was solid.
A decent sitcom.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, we sat down and watched all 10 episodes. I don't remember the last time I sat down and binge watched a whole one thing in a sitting, but it was like 30 minutes a pop, and I was like, it's 10 episodes. We can finish this, and we did one night.
Yeah,
yeah.
So I definitely would recommend it, especially if you're a fan of the original one. Yeah. Even though I stand firmly beside the fact that fucking Eric Foreman is an absolute shitheel.
Me and Blair had started watching The Witcher Blood Origin.
Yeah, I haven't heard good things about it so far.
Yeah, I haven't been in a huge rush to watch the second episode. And then we live in 2-year-old hell, so
2-year-old hell.
It's kind of hard to make time to watch because he goes to bed at the same time my wife goes to bed, so we don't get time alone where we can watch horror stuff.
Or Smash Uglies.
Yeah, or Smash Uglies. So it's hard to figure out how the hell we're going to watch The Last of Us if we're going to watch it together. And then usually, like I've said before, as soon as they go to bed, people are online on the Discord. So I'm hopping on the Discord to play video games and chat with people. And I don't get how Kane fucking watches stuff while he's playing video games with people. He's burning through shows. And I was like, how do you...
Yeah, I talked to him one day, and he's like, I just started Orange is the New Black. And talked to him like 4 days later. He's like, I just finished Orange is the New Black. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, he can multitask like a motherfucker, so.
Yeah.
I mean, that's usually what I do.
I can't do that. If I'm doing something, I got to focus on it.
Yeah. Oh, we know you do. Because you leave your microphone
unmuted. Yeah, we can hear your
we all hear what you're watching.
Yeah. Same with Kyle. Kyle, if you listen to TikToks really loud, you can fucking hear it in the background.
Usually, if I'm playing the game with y'all, I'll have my headphones on.
The only thing I've made a point to watch right now, as it's been coming out, has been Trigun Stampede.
I still need to watch, like, the first episode.
Yeah. Well, I think today the dub starts airing. So if you want to watch Johnny Young Bosch reprise his performance.
I've been putting on here lately, I've been putting on shows as I go to bed that I haven't revisited in forever. And I'll just like fully coherently watch like a episode, then I'll fall asleep and then it will continue on. But I did it with this last week, I did it with Buffy and I did it with Smallville. Mm-hmm. And it's nice to go back, but it's also not so, I'm not so invested to where it will keep me up and I'll keep watching it. Like I'll be like into this first episode I'm watching, and after that I'll be like, I can go to sleep now.
Well, like Buffy for me, like trying to go back and rewatch it, like mostly the first season is kind of hard to watch because of like the ADR and stuff is really bad in that first season.
I like it. It didn't bug me too much. It just bugs me knowing that Joss Whedon's a piece of shit. But other than that,
Man,
I've been here lately. I've been trying to separate that shit. Just be like, it's like with that 90 show. There's no Hyde because of the Danny Masterson stuff.
Yeah.
And like, I was surprised that they didn't mention. I thought they would at least like briefly mention the character, be like, give an excuse why he's not there. But they didn't even act like he didn't exist at all. And like that aspect, I kind of hate. Like, we as a society need to learn to separate the actors from the characters.
Yeah.
Because like that character is not that shitheel person. So be like, just mention it. Give us some closure. Be like, oh, Hyde lives in Arkansas now and he runs a record store or something like this. Just give us. Don't fucking snip out like 10 seasons of a character and don't say anything like they never existed. I mean, in the 70s show, Hyde was basically the foreman's adopted son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me nobody's going to say dick about him? That's a little unnatural, you know? And just like with Buffy, I don't want to like Buffy less or Firefly less or Angel or any of that shit less because I found out Joss Whedon was a piece of shit. I want to learn how to I'm trying to learn how to separate it. So I can be like, fuck Joss Whedon, but I still love Buffy.
Well,
Just trying to.
So like I saw a TikToker explain it really well about trying to separate the art from the artist. And he was talking about, okay, so you just found out someone is really shitty. So don't let it take away from like Kevin Spacey, for example. Kevin Spacey is an obvious piece of shit.
Yeah, you don't have to be like, his acting was great in this. Just be like, this character's awesome. Kevin Spacey's a piece of shit.
Like, you can enjoy his older movies, but if he's doing a new project, a new movie or something...
then don't support it.
Don't support it. That's something
just like
new.
that. I'm not going to go out... I'll watch Buffy on Netflix. I'm not going to go out and buy a hard copy of every one of the fucking seasons. And
well, like this,
even at this point, if you bought a hard copy of it, that money's not going to Joss Whedon at this point. It's going to fucking whatever shitty Barnes and Nobles or fucking Second and Charles you're buying it from secondhand.
Like the whole thing with Justin Roiland now. Now it's like I still love Rick and Morty. I will go back and watch those for what they have out, but I'm not going to go through and finish High on Life now. I'm not going to go out and support any other new projects he creates.
Yeah, that's fair.
High on Life is only okay anyways.
Well, it's just like, I mean, that's that Rick and Morty thing anyways. It's like that Rick and Morty's whole thing is like with that dude's sense of humor is they have something and they beat you the fuck over the head with it. This is kind of his thing, and that's what High on Life is. Except
so like
instead of watching it, you're living it.
Well, like I said, I don't think they could do it without Justin Roiland if they got a similar voice actor. Only because like Rick and Morty's success came from the collaboration between Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland. Dan Harmon's like focused on continuity and like his own version of the hero arc, and Justin Roiland's spontaneity and improvisation. If you don't have that, then you won't have the Rick and Morty.
Like I said, the whole like removing this from that thing is not a new mentality for me because I've been moving towards that with Hasbro and stopped buying their Power Ranger stuff because of the shit fucking paint quality that...
Dude, I didn't know Hasbro owned Wizards of the Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Hasbro fucking owns...
Yeah.
No, you want to know
almost everything at this point.
You want to know why Wizards of the Coast had that whole big issue with the licensing thing? It's because Hasbro shareholders finally realized that Wizards of the Coast was just as big as regular Hasbro. And so they're like, oh shit, you mean you're actually making money off of this D&D shit? Oh god, well we got to capitalize on this more.
Well, yeah, they saw how the video game market has...
I am a diehard fan of... I love Transformers. I love G.I. Joe as a kid, like the cool little G.I. Joes, not the big G.I. Joes. And they recently acquired Power Rangers in the last few years. I'm a fan of all these IPs. I am not a fan of fucking Hasbro. They are... Quality control on their action figures is shit. Their customer support is shit. It's all a nightmare.
Hasbro is a money-making company. That's all they care about.
As a person that profited off their shit paint, because I have repainted ungodly number of Lightning Collection figures for people that paid me to do it, because they're like, I just spent back when Lightning figures first hit, they were $20, $19.99, and it was these people being like, I just spent $60 on these 3 Lightning Collection figures, and then they're going to spend the money to ship the figures to me and then pay me to fix the paint. So by the end of it, they're spending ungodly amounts on these figures. So they're buying these figures to pay me to fix these figures. And I kept doing it. And one day I just got like ungodly mad when I was repainting my like 9th putty for like a month. I'm just like, this is fucking stupid. And I'm the person that's getting my pockets lined by it. I'm like, this is fucking dumb. I was like, why are all these fans buying this shit so they have to pay to get it fixed? It makes no sense. So I was like, I straight up stopped. I told people, like, you can paint this for me, you can pay for this for me. I was like, no, I'm no longer painting Lightning Collection figures. And they're like, why? And I was like, because I'm done profiting off of fans like me that are getting fucked by this company. I was like, it was like, if you don't like their paint, and this went to deaf ears like a motherfucker.
Of course.
I was like, if you don't like these paint applications, stop buying them. Because they keep cranking it out because they know you guys are going to keep shoving money in their pockets. If you want change, you have to stop supporting the line.
Yep.
But deaf ears. All I got was a bunch of messages like, well, I really wish you would paint this. And I like for a long time until people got the idea.
Yeah.
They was just like, I really wish you would do this. And I really wish you would do this. And like, I still have some Lightning figures and I still have some new ones, but I get them for Christmas. People ask me what I want for Christmas. I'm like, I want this. If you want to get it for me, that'd be cool. Cause I'm not spending my money on this figure. I'm not. And like, the only thing that I am going to put money into as of right now from Hasbro, Power Ranger wise, is the Astro Mega Ship. And that's because they got their asses reamed so hard with the Zap Megazord when it came out. What the things they changed it for their little artistic spins and everything. People shit all over that Zord. So when they went to do the Astro Mega Ship, they're like, what should we change? And they're like, absolutely not a goddamn thing. They're like, listen, because they have so many Zap Megazords that are just warming shelves on these online retailers. And they're like, we're going to tank this line if we do this again. Make it look like what it looked like on the fucking show, just big and fancy. Don't change shit.
Yeah.
So I have that pre-ordered because the Astro Mega Ship, first and foremost, is an awesome Zord. Second, it's awesome to see them going outside of MMPR because they absolutely could have went from Dragon Zord and Dino Zord right into fucking more of the MMPR Zords, but they went to space. And it is huge, and I pre-ordered it. That I will spend money on. But
Where
everything
are you
else,
gonna put it?
Huh?
Where are you?
I make room.
There's
There's always room,
it.
bitch.
He finds a way.
Yeah, no.
I just
knock on Kane's door.
Oh,
Hey,
dude, you think you smoking crack if you don't think soon as tax return money hits that I'm not going to IKEA to buy more glass shelves?
Yeah, he's already planning his next trip to IKEA.
Yeah, I'll get some.
I recently canceled my D&D Beyond subscription. And
you weren't using it.
Yeah, I wasn't using it either. I should have canceled it.
Yeah, but fuck them.
But you know, as with subscription services, you forget about it.
Yeah.
It's only like $6 a month, but I will not be playing Dungeons and Dragons going forward. They turned back on the changes they were making, but the only reason they turned so the whole thing, and the thing that makes me so mad, because a lot of companies do this, they intentionally
Leaked it.
Leak it to see what people are saying.
Exactly. They intentionally sent out their initial plan to gauge what the response was going to be, with the intention of, if people don't like it, let's see what we can get away with. And that's just a bad business practice. And so when we started playing tabletop RPGs, we started out with Pathfinder. Let's go back to fucking Pathfinder.
That was the thing. The new OGL that they had was going to screw over Piezo and Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Like, Pathfinder was going to have to go to court to see if they could continue with Pathfinder 2.
Even if they have to make changes, whatever changes they make, like, I'm fine with that.
Well,
There's also another open license. I forget what it's called. Excuse me. It's like a generic role-playing system.
I know which one you're talking about. I forget who made it, but it's basically, it encompasses everything.
Yeah. So I play with one of those, but I'm done with D&D for sure.
Well, that circles back to Power Rangers. They just did the 30th anniversary live stream that showed like what figures were coming up, and like they showed the new suits for the first all-American made team and all this shit. Don't get me started on that. But when they showed the Astro Mega Ship, and it was in a sealed box, the Astro Mega Ship. So it was like fully done. Sealed box. They had to cut tape and everything. But they're like, they were covering their asses. They're like, this is technically not the final project. So if you see something weird, just let us know, but that's not the final product. And I was like, that's the final product. You guys are just saying that so you can hear if there's something that fans want to shit on and be like, quick, guys, quick, fucking scrape that shit off there
as a
now.
business move, that's not a bad idea.
But I knew as soon as they said that, I messaged Stick. I was like, we were watching it side by side, and we were talking to each other, and I was like, you know why they said that, right? I was like, those fuckers right there. I was like, that was sealed tape on a final product box. That thing's done. But they're sussing us out to hear if all the fans in the live stream are like, oh, why did you do this? And they're like, fucking take that shit back to the shop, scrape it off, and put it out there.
Yeah. Here's some advice. Don't fuck with the IP.
Yeah, no shit.
Like,
it's fucking 30-year anniversary for a goddamn reason.
Talk about that. That is probably, I know I'm just circling back to it. That is the one reason why I'm loving The Last of Us TV show so much, is because they're not fucking with the IP.
There's been one episode. There's still ample opportunity for the IP to have been fucked with.
I think any fucking video game company at this point, like that's making a movie off a video game thing, has seen what happened with Halo, and they're like, well, let's not do that.
Well, no, it's fine because this is like the first thing I've ever seen where it's like, we're just going to copy the game and put it to film.
Like, again, games like Last of Us are like movies in the first place. Yeah. So
people need to chill out about The Last of Us. You can enjoy, you can enjoy and agree that the first episode was good.
Give it time. Make sure.
Give it time. Wait and talk about how good it was once the season has finished, and then you can say how close it was to the game, if it is.
Yeah. Give it time.
Yeah.
But then with going back to the American-made shit, like the American-made fucking
Note.
Power Ranger suits are hard duty.
Oh yeah,
they slapped. Of course, since it's America, the fucking dude suits, they slapped abs and pecs on the fucking Power Ranger suits, and I was like, of course you did.
Do they have American flag and eagles?
No. Ironically, Sentai beat America to that fucking decades ago. Yeah, with fucking Battle Fever, where each ranger was based on a different country, and they had Miss America.
Oh.
And Miss America is nightmare fuel because that helmet it's a chick. She represents America, and that helmet has long blonde hair on it, and it is scary as fuck looking. And she looks like she's wearing a leotard on her suit, but it's not. It
bad.
keeps me awake at night. Oh man, yeah, they beat us to that. If anybody's slapping an American flag on anything, Japan already did it.
Yeah.
Miss America. Oh, yeah, they did us dirty with that one. Oof.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah. Well, they fucking didn't kill her though. They killed fucking Rusky Boy though. Fucking, he had a hammer and sickle on his suit. He died. He got shot to death.
Speaking of Power Ranger shit, have you seen like this? It's not exactly Power Rangers, but it's a Power Ranger Sentai like anime that just started.
The loser, whatever the fuck, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, I seen it.
Yeah,
you know me, I'm not a big anime guy. I just never have been. So I bombarded the. Speaking of that, like it brought me back to it. Is the Court of Books and Booze came out? They did the first episode. They did their prequel episode. Which, what is it called at the beginning of a book when it's got the precursor?
Prologue.
Yeah, they called it their prologue episode.
That's cool.
And they're gonna be calling their episodes chapters. Because the book thing. I don't know the series that they're going to be reading, but they're covering like a series at first. But they're big into anime, and then the call guys were talking about it and like, we'll try reading a book because like the Court of Books and Booze happened, and we talked about books with them, and now I just kind of want to try to read a book. And I fucking every email address I had, I messaged the call guys, be like, read Odd Thomas. I fucking love that book. I'm not a reader by any means, but I love the Odd Thomas series by Dean Koontz. So
let me subscribe to A Court of Books and Booze.
Yeah, check it out. I'm not a big reading guy. I'm gonna listen to it, but like that did make me want to go read Redwall though. I've always liked the world of Redwall.
Is that what they're talking about?
Skylar, they named their top like some of their favorite book series, and Skylar loves Redwall, and he read it to their kid recently. One of the kids.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading Redwall to my kid.
I know Kyle. I've never read Redwall. Yeah. I've cooked from the Redwall cookbook because Kyle's made me do it multiple times.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't enjoy it as an adult, but when I was in middle school, I started reading those books.
I remember you being obsessed.
Apparently, he had a teacher in one of his growing up that read them Redwall.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great way to start getting kids into fantasy.
I had a teacher that read us the Everest book series when I was a kid, which was about a bunch of teens that were climbing mountains and climbing Mount Everest, and one won a competition to go with them, and motherfuckers died in that book. That was rough. Like, you listen in that book series, you listen to them describe one of the main characters that was kind of a douchebag slowly die of hyperthermia on Everest, and he didn't survive. So he's a landmark up there.
So, Skylar, Jess, and Amanda, welcome to the Mojo Entertainment. I want to say family, but they're already part of the family that me and Brandon aren't actually a part of.
Technically, two of them are, yes. One by marriage and the other by blood. Does that mean I come from a podcast family now? Like a literal podcast family?
Yeah.
Because one of my cousins is on 3 shows. Gunner is on Chico is on Call Guys, Indiana Chiefs, and Golden Image. The Skywalker, Skylar, is on 2 now because he's on Golden Image and he's on Court of Books and Booze. And then fucking Jeremy is on Murd Nerds, Tusop, Indiana Chiefs fans, Golden Image, and then now my Aunt Bobbi is part of Team Boozers.
Yeah, which we haven't officially welcomed Bobbi and
Yeah, doing the old-fashioned Team Tejas way by saying, get fucked, Boozers. I'm sorry, Aunt Bobbi. I'll tell Uncle Jeremy to get fucked. I'm not going to tell my Aunt Bobbi to get fucked. She is a lovely human being.
Jennifer.
He had to look up the name.
No, I didn't remember.
Yeah, he did. He keeps looking at his phone.
No, I was about to look at the name, and then it finally came from me. This is what's up on
It's
my
like
phone.
you can just see the dots over Matt's head.
Yeah, well, okay, so listen.
We've seen people portray Jennifer on TV. At least I have.
Yeah.
I've watched it. I watched people portray Jennifer.
I have this problem where as soon as I need to recall names or words, my brain goes blank.
Well, maybe you'd have an easier time recalling her
Sometimes.
if Jeremy would add them to the fucking group chat like he said he would.
Yeah, that's true. He hasn't done that.
Dropping the ball.
This is us calling you out.
We'll hear about it in a week.
Hey, I mean, last week was Bobbi's first episode that she presented.
Yeah.
I thought it was a very interesting case, very informative. I thought it was an enjoyable delivery. Certainly better than some of our own on this team's deliveries.
It all bleeds together for me because I hear Jeremy in so many different episodes. Like, I literally just got done listening to the last 2 Murd. Oh, that reminds me. I want to get a live reaction from you guys on something from the Murd Nerds while we're here.
Okay.
Let me get to that. But what I was saying is, with Jeremy, I hear him on so many shows to where I kind of forget, like, did I hear this on Tusop or did I hear this on Murd Nerds or Golden Image? Because I hear him everywhere.
Yeah.
But majority of the time, I hear my uncle fucking talk about something that I don't want to hear, like him talking about wanting to bang Christina Aguilera or how he still likes sex in his old age and stuff like that. So you guys talk amongst yourself. I'm going to find I think it wasn't this week. It was the week before Murd Nerds. They do a question at the beginning of every podcast now. And the week before was had me screaming God no at my radio while we were going here. Let me see here.
What kind of questions do you ask on a true crime podcast?
Well, it's never really based on true crime. The
Who did
question. So it's never really true crime centered there. But I'm gonna play this. So for you and editing purposes, I'm gonna push play and let it get to it naturally real quick, and then you can just cut that.
Hey, Ashley, what celebrity would you like to stalk and murder?
It's funny that you mentioned that. Let's get to it.
Oh, God.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Ashley.
And we are
Murd Nerds.
If you're listening to this, go check out the Murd Nerds.
If you would like to tell us which celebrity you'd like to stalk and murder, email us at the United States of Paranormal at
From the
gmail.com.
holiday season. Joining me today, as always, is my beautiful co-host, Ashley.
She wasn't British, I thought, mean it.
And also joining us today is our beautiful producer, editor, and the total voice of reason within this podcast.
Beautiful's being a little
Jeremy.
generous.
That's a lie.
Beautiful? That's a lie?
No, the lie is that you're the voice of reason.
Oh.
I am not denying your beauty, my friend.
How y'all doing today?
Fantastic. Hungry as shit, but I'm good.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Jeremy, are you okay?
I'm hungry too.
That's what our side
He's
podcast
hungry,
needs to
his
be.
team's
Us
losing,
listening
and his
to the
toes
other
are
golden
cold.
ones and judging.
It's true. All those
react.
things.
His butt probably hurts from sitting on this chair for.
Yeah, because you guys got the
Hours.
comfy chairs. I got the other chair.
The nut chair.
It's the nut chair because he has a mouse that
Yeah, that
lives in his
becomes a
studio
thing,
that stores nuts in that chair.
During the,
Okay, good. I'm
with
glad it's not the
YouTube
other nut.
They come in here and they
Or
sit
maybe
down
it is.
and they just look at me and go, "Why are your
No,
nuts
that's
in
the
a bag?"
nutting chair.
The
You didn't
mouse,
give it to
like, that's
Bobby
a-
yet?
I know.
They're in her purse. Don't worry.
The other ones.
If you're a new listener, you may not know that we start off
Okay,
every
here we go.
episode asking a question.
You're gonna want to get near that
And,
mic, Brandon.
It's just to kind of oil up our gears for a conversation to get us all thinking. So today's question, I'm so ready.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Today's question of the day is a longer one, and it's one that I heard on TikTok, and it comes from user at Jake Dayton 1, and his question is what he calls a moral question.
Okay.
They are essentially this or that questions, and everyone's answers are totally different. There is no wrong or right answers. And
There
the
is
people that
absolutely a
answer,
wrong or
he
right
said,
answer to this.
they're about 50-50 with their responses. So you can play along at home too, just to see what your friends and
You hear that, guys?
families
Get ready to play along.
want to answer. So, part one of the question. Think of your celebrity crush. Not someone you look up to, but someone you are sexually attracted
You
to.
want to fuck.
So, yes, Ashley, who is yours?
Will Ramos. Easy.
Okay, Jeremy, who's yours?
Christina Aguilera.
You notice
Okay.
how fast he answered that?
Damn, okay.
It's been like that
Didn't
since I was a
miss a
kid.
So, second
That's
part.
just one.
Right, I've got a lot more too, but Will
Kate
Ramos is my number one.
Beckinsale, Natalie Portman.
John Stamos.
Just all of Tinseltown, essentially.
I would be slap happy by the time I come out of Tinseltown.
Okay, so second part is we are going to set the scene for the both of you. So, in an
Wait, what's
Fantasize
yours?
enough.
mine is
fantasize-
Kit Harington, Jon Snow.
Oh, that's
Of
yeah.
course.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Her sexy, sexy sex dream.
Yeah.
Yes. In an imaginary universe, your partner does not exist. So Bobby doesn't exist.
Do we
So
really have to
Car wreck
qualify?
or-
you're single. They don't exist at all.
They never exist.
Oh,
Never
okay.
existed.
Straight to tragedy. Straight to tragedy.
So you're single and you're ready to mingle. Okay. So there are no worries about upsetting your significant other or whoever you're with, whatever. In this universe, you are at a bar or another late night location like a club or somewhere else, and your celebrity crush walks in that door.
Your celebrity walk.
They walk up right next to you, and they sit down at the bar in the chair next to yours. Jeremy's shaking his head. Why are you shaking your head?
Go, keep going.
I was going to say something, but then Jeremy's going to have to bleep it out, so I'll just keep my mouth shut.
They start talking to you, and you guys hit it off. So not only are you physically into them, but mentally everything is just working out, right? You're making one another.
Doing this to us.
You're making one another laugh. You have the same interests. You're like touching each other's arms. It's literally fireworks are going off. Okay. So the next thing you know, they say, "Hey, I live right around the corner. Would you be interested in coming back to my place?
Yes.
Where it's a little more quiet."
Absolutely.
Obviously, we can all agree that we know what this means, right?
Yes.
And you say yes. Now, before I get into the meat of this question, let me just let it be
love
known.
this.
I'm
That-
like, what does your plumbing need to be
Right.
fixed? The electrical work? What?
In this universe, there is no risk of pregnancies, STDs, etc. Everything's just wonderful, perfect, ideal.
It ties in.
Anyway, you guys start walking out the door to head towards their apartment, and your cousin walks through the door, and before you can leave, they stop you and they say, "Hey, I see you guys met." And you're like, yeah, everything's going great. And you're like, "Oh, that's our first cousin. This is like a mini family reunion."
Oh my God.
And you stop right in your tracks. So your moral dilemma is, do you still go back to their place and sleep with them?
no.
Because they're totally still down.
Ew, no. Fuck no.
What'd you say, first cousin?
Yes, first
question.
He's like, well, was it a second?
Was it a second?
No, definitely not. Not at all.
But the thing is you guys don't know you're related. You didn't grow up together. There's
That's
no
blood, baby.
familial, but there's no risk of pregnancy. So
I just
there would be no weird.
Nah, I couldn't wrap my head around
Hunchback
that.
of Notre Dame's coming
Okay,
out.
listening.
Relationships.
No, I just take the bragging rights that Will Ramos was my cousin. Then after that,
Okay. Would you still be sexually attracted to them though? Do you still think they're hot?
probably, yeah.
Okay. Jeremy, you've been awfully quiet.
For starters, I call bullshit on Ashley.
What? I don't think I could do it.
Secondly, I have no morals anymore anyway, so fuck it, I'm all
Like,
about
I'm
it.
banging
I'd
Christina.
I'd hammer that. It had to be 3 times because the first time it would be really bad for her. So I'd have to go back the second time, probably the same night, just to make it all up to her.
Worse for her.
Yeah.
Keep listening.
No, you have to make it up. You know what I'm saying? You know, listeners, what I'm saying? I'd be making it up.
Yeah, all women everywhere know what you're saying.
And the third time,
I have no idea.
the
Shut
third
up,
time
bitch.
would just be an adventure that every woman would want.
Keep listening.
I'd hammer the piss out of that.
Ooh.
The shit.
Ooh. Well, hey, I don't kink shame. Whatever you're into is fine. Oh, God. I want to fuck Will Ramos so bad.
Oh my God!
Sorry,
See,
please leave that.
Once again, nope. Stayed in, and I call
not
bullshit.
my cousin.
But if he was, are you
Then
keeping it in the family?
I don't think I could do that. No, I think that would immediately like flip a switch. I would still look at him and be like, "Damn it, that's really sad. I really wish you weren't my fucking cousin." But I don't think I would be able to go through with it.
You wish he was your fucking cousin? He could be. He's down.
No, I wish he wasn't my cousin.
You know what they always said. You know what Mom always said. If you can't keep it in your own pants, keep it in your sister's.
Jeremy.
Should we cut that?
Yes. Yes.
That's what I yelled.
I'd still do it.
Yeah, you know you would.
But I
Listen.
couldn't. We didn't grow up together. He lived across the pond.
Listen.
Yeah, but it's your blood relative. It's your mom's
You know what?
sister's child.
I've cut blood out of my life. You think I'm not gonna let it in me?
Literally. Oh
If
my
we grew
God.
up together, it'd
Oh,
be
we miss
different.
you, Alicia.
I don't even think that's like a moral thing. If there's
Okay.
no chance of pregnancy, it's not a moral thing. It's just like a can you?
I'm gonna end it right there. I had to have you guys listen to that and see how you reacted because I was yelling at my radio. Fucking, I was like, no! And then Jeremy was like, you know what Mom said? And he said that, and I was like, no! And then they're like, should we cut that out? And my radio, I was like, yes!
This picture of Logan right there screaming, "Not Gam Gam."
And then fucking Alicia's line fucking killed me, though, where she was like, I've cut family out of my life. You don't think I'll let it in? And then she's quiet. Me? I fucking almost died in my car, man. But yeah, normally I'm used to only yelling at the radio when it's the call guys. Seldomly is it ever the Murder Nerds, but I had to have you guys react to that because
You didn't.
that was gold. That was I watched you guys go through so many different emotions while watching that. Too bad it's not a visual aid podcast.
I know a lot more about Jeremy now.
Good stuff. The Murder Nerds have come out every Friday, so if you want to check out the Murder Nerds, go check them out. It's not usually the question's not always about fucking your cousin, but
But when it is, they hit it 3 times.
specifically Jeremy. He's got to fucking the 2 times her to climb over that disappointment thing, and the 3rd time she's so used to it, it's no longer disappointing. It's just going through the motions.
So Logan, which celebrity cousin would you like to smash?
Dude, when they first asked the question, like, what celebrity do you have, like, they were going for that, I literally, like, I was trying to, like, who would it be? And I just can't think of anything. Because that's just not where my brain goes with, like, people and stuff. So I was just like, who would it be? And I was like, I don't know. But Jeremy was like, Christina Aguilera. Oh. And then they're like, what if she's your cousin? I'd fuck her 3 times that night.
Well,
I just wanted to share that with you guys.
I
had to listen about my uncle banging his Christina Aguilera cousin. You guys had to listen to it too. You're welcome, fans and listeners.
On that note,
Where do you go from there? Do we talk about the other Golden Image podcast? That's where we go. Let's talk about shows like on Mondays. We've got the Call Guys who talk about pop culture and have never once referenced incest ever.
No. Yet.
Yeah, they did, fucking first and foremost, Kyle sent them an email about last episode when I told people to email them about how Nightmare Before Christmas is, in fact, a Christmas movie. And they still stuck to that. Other than at least Gunnar was like, I haven't seen it since I was little. But Colton, that stubborn son of a bitch, he still stuck to his guns. But Kyle sent them that old Wise Kid You Know music video where it's like, don't tell your parents no, and it circles, and then at the end it's him telling them how to make crystal meth and like, don't do that. He sent that to them. But that little bastard, in his email he sent them, said I sent him to do it. Which I did not. I mean, I said in the thing, people email about how this is, but I didn't tell him that he wrote that I told him to send that music video to them. I was like, I did not.
Leave it to Kyle to try and throw you under the bus.
Yeah, at least sack up, Kyle. If you're going to come at him, be like, I'm at you. And then he messaged us like, the Call Guys talked about me. I'm going to go put him down is what I'm going to do.
I mean, it's been
Especially
coming.
after what he did last week.
Oh, God. But, yeah. So the Call Guys talk about pop culture, usually have some kind of list. Last week was top 5 favorite movie quotes and everything. So that's what they do. And then on Tuesdays, we got the Golden Image podcast, where it is a podcast where they go do things in their local area and experience so they can tell you about it. So hopefully you go out and experience it. And on oscillating weeks, they cover old Golden Image radio episodes that are remastered and put back out. So it switches it up. Then Wednesdays, we got us, Tusop. You know what we are. I mean, other than right now, we barely covered Spooky, but you know what you're here for. We're how many episodes in at this point?
This, I think, is episode 44.
Yeah, so you guys know what you're here for. And then on Thursdays, we got the Indiana Chiefs fans, which it is Indiana people talking about the Kansas City Chiefs and their love for football. And then Fridays, we've got the Murd Nerds and A Quart of Books and Booze now. They're now on Fridays. And they had their prologue episode last week, so you can get a new episode. Oh, well, yeah, at this point, there will be 2 episodes out. So podcast land is always weird to think about. I need to put them on my list, too, because I didn't get an update saying that they put a new episode out, so I haven't checked it out yet.
Well, I didn't see a new episode on their thing.
So I'll have to look in it. But yeah, they come out on Fridays, and A Quart of Books and Booze is Jessica, Skylar, and Amanda, right?
Yes.
Amanda. They are going to be reading books and reviewing them and discussing them while just casually having a few drinks in there. I listened to the first episode. I'm not a book reader person. I enjoyed it. I learned that in 2 different separate podcasts, I learned that people that like Harry Potter books are very particular about the movies, because apparently the movies cut out a lot of really important characters and stuff. So
I mean, that's any
yeah,
book turned movie.
but that did, I mean, to be honest, listen to it did make me want to go pick up some books. Like I really want to read Redwall. I've always been fascinated with Redwall. And like I said, I've cooked multiple dishes from Redwall and I've never read it. So just the thought of little animals running around like medieval-esque type stuff. But I mean, that's
again, me and Matt would say you would probably like the audiobook for Dungeon Crawler Carl.
I think the thing I cooked was hot root soup, which I think it's something that the otters in that thing like to eat. So stuff like that I find really interesting. If I did play another Pathfinder campaign, I would like to play one based in a world like that. I think that'd be neat.
Yeah, it'd be adorable.
Yeah.
My favorite Redwall book is not about... So Redwall itself is an abbey. But my favorite book is called Lord Brocktree. And it is
what's an abbey?
It's like a
monastery.
Yeah, it's like a walled-in monastery.
Okay, so that's why it's called Red Wall. It's because it's literally a walled-in place.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And it's ran by mice. The sequel to that book is called Mateo, which is about the son of Martin the Mouse, who is the main character from Redwall. But my favorite book is Lord Brocktree, which is a book about a badger who carries a big-ass sword and is the king of a seaside...
I imagine you wouldn't want to
castle.
fuck of a kingdom of fucking badgers. That sounds fucking unpleasant.
It's been like a decade and a half since I read it, but I have
Skylar
fond
said
memories of
that
that book.
Netflix or somebody is picking up the Redwall series to make an animated show or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
Speaking of something of that vein, I know Matt knows of the books, but Raymond E. Feist is finally getting a TV show. based off of his Rift Force saga. That's something I'm excited about.
So if you like books, check out the Court of Books and Booze. Make sure to follow them on wherever you listen. If you're on Apple, review them. If you're on Spotify, give them some stars. And if you're on other ones, I don't know what you do. I don't know if you listen to us on Audible like Kyle does, if there's a reviewing system.
He's the one guy.
I think he's literally the one person on Audible that's listening to us. I'll be checking it out more. I might even put in some audio. I just listen to so many of these podcasts. Like, I don't know where. Like, if I'm going to take it in, it's going to be in the car.
Yeah.
That's the last, when I did listen to the audiobooks for the Decker family stuff, I listened mainly while I was in the car and everything. Yeah, no, audio's, I do have some points to use with the Audible too, but I just, like I said, I just find a hard time to get at. But I would like to dive into the Redwall stuff for sure and a few other things that there's books out for.
Oh, yeah.
But what else? What else is there? Oh, I mean, if you're liking and reviewing stuff, make sure to like and review us. And I also want to talk to you guys about, have you guys decided what you're doing for your next cases? Either of you?
Nope.
Dog, you're the next case coming up.
Yeah, no shit.
I'll figure something out.
I've got some ideas, but I have not committed to a particular subject yet. I really think I want to do a haunt for my next case because I've only done Annabelle so far, and I'd like to do a little more traditional haunt.
Cool. Well, how about we put it out there for this episode? If you've got something you want Brandon to cover, hit us up. Hit us up on our socials or email us at theunitedstatesofparanormal@gmail.com. But do it quick because it comes quicker than you think. We have to record.
Just like Jeremy and Christina Aguilera.
He absolutely would come quicker than you think. He's gonna have to add a fourth time for that one, just for the first time's not gonna count. Let's be honest.
It's gonna need a mulligan.
See, that's where that sponsorship for Blue Chew would really fucking come in handy. Doesn't sound so silly now, does it, Jeremy?
Remember code EXTENDONG.
Diamond Dong. Blue Chew for when you want to rail your famous cousin. Oh, I really did. Like that day, I had a fucking relatively rough day at work, and I was pulling into the Walmart parking lot where that one was coming. That part of that segment was coming to conclusion, and I fucking needed that day. Like I about fucking died listening to that. So absolutely go check out the Murd Nerds. Tell our old spooky friend Alicia you said hi. That bitch called me spooky in her last episode. She said, what was it? She talked about the story, or no, it was the one before this because they did their Sporty Spice shit this time. That's the last one. But they were like, and then if you like spooky stuff, and then fucking Alicia was like the main spooky thing over there is Logan. I listen to everything, Alicia. Fuck you. I'm not spooky. I'm a delight.
Logan's gonna drag her out to a cabin in the woods and hunt her for sport.
I'm pretty sure Alicia could take me. But yeah, go check them out. Like I said, this was just chiller filler. We just need to unwind every now and then, take a break from diving into spooky. Write it's a lot more work than you think. You got to write, you got to research, you got to rewrite again, then you got to fuck up the delivery while you're fucking doing it.
Oh yeah, then you got to spend the next 3 weeks fucking kicking yourself for how you delivered it. Like, God, I did such a bad job.
So if you like self-hate, think about taking up a career in podcasting.
Yeah,
It'll get you there. But this has been Logan.
it's been Matt.
Boze.
Keep it spooky out there.
To support other Golden Mojo Entertainment productions, check out Golden Image Podcast, The Call Guys, and Murd Nerds wherever you enjoy listening to podcasts. To see photos and find new episodes of the United States of Paranormal, follow us on our social media. Twitter at TUSOPPOD or Instagram at the United States of Paranormal and Facebook, the United States of Paranormal. If you have a place that you'd like us to look into or would like to share your spooky story that we can read on the air, please email us at theunitedstatesofparanormal@gmail.com.